So there are my tomato slices. I'm just going to put them on a dish now so that I can show you how this all goes together. And if you don't have access to yellow tomatoes, well, then you can just use all red tomatoes. That's fine too. So let me clean this off because I'm going to need this board to cut up my bread. Now for this, we want to make a dressing first. And I like to use fresh oregano. If you don't have fresh oregano, well, you could use dried as well. So this is fresh oregano. You can buy this in the grocery store in little packets. They sell them very inexpensively. Or you could just get a little plant and put it on your windowsill. But anyone who's Italian knows that fresh oregano is used with some tomato dishes, and I like it with this. So here is mine, and I just want to give that a quick mince. And we're going to make a very simple dressing of the oregano and a little bit of fresh garlic, some salt, olive oil, and sugar. And it's best to make the dressing early in the day. You want to allow those flavors to all mingle together. So get out a clean jar and then put in some fresh garlic. This is just 1 clove of garlic that I've minced up. So that goes in, and now the oregano goes in. And you want about a ½ cup, and I'm just going to eyeball this, of an extra virgin olive oil. This is the best type of oil to use for a salad. So that's about a ½ cup. And then either use a white wine vinegar, or you could use a red wine vinegar as well. So there's mine. I want about 1/3 cup of that. And because I want this a little bit on the sweet side, I'm going to add a little sugar, about 2 tablespoons, and some sea salt. Want to put a little bit of black pepper in that? That's fine too. Cap the jar. Give those arms a little bit of muscle power. Shake it up really well, and then just set it off to the side. And that's all there is to that. I took out some fresh arugula. My husband loves to grow this particular variety of arugula, and it has a very peppery taste. And all I do is, well, just make a little design in the base of the mold, because when I turn this out, of course, this is going to have this design on the top. So now you can use any type of a mold, and if the bread doesn't fit exactly, that's okay, as long as all the bread slices are cut equally. So now we have to take off the crumb, and to do that you want to use a bread knife. So starting at the top of the bread, just take off the dome, and you can use this for something else later on. Then I go along the side and take a very thin layer of the crust off. Once you do that, then you want to start cutting down and making thin layers, not more than 1/4 inch thick, like that. And I want probably 5. So let me cut a few more and show you what happens after you get the first couple off. There, now we have our 5 slices, and we can start. So you put one in the base, and now we take our dressing and we brush the bread liberally with this dressing now. Remember, you've let this sit around a while, so all of these flavors have mingled beautifully. So really get all over the bread slice. Then if you want to, you can add more of that arugula, or you can do basil, or you can do parsley, whatever you want to do. Put a few sprigs in the base or on top of the bread, and then you start with your tomatoes. So I'm going to start with the red. And these you can just lie next to each other, or if they're smaller, you can overlap them. Isn't this pretty? It looks beautiful already. And there's our red layer, and you can see how nice that's starting to look. Then you go out to the backyard and you get a brick. You cover it in foil, and you put the brick right over the top. That's going to act like a weight and hold this whole salad together so that when you go to cut it, it's going to cut beautifully. So in the refrigerator it goes.